So today we're working on that consumer math review, this right here. I'm going to share my screen with you and kind of go over it a little bit. So our faces will go off to the side for a second.
Yep, okay.
Okay, let me get to my desktop here. Which one do I want? No. I think this is the one I want. Share. Okay. Let's go to this one first. Okay. So can you see that, Claire?
Yeah, it has English on it.
How about now?
It still has English.
It still has English?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yep.
And then try to reshare my screen. Was that the vocab words that were on there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. No, that's the English one. Yep, that's the one I want to share. How about now?
Yep.
Okay. Math?
Yep.
Okay. So you can see right here, up here, it's just like that other review we did to start off with. They have a W-2 form and a 1090 form. And this time I did share those with you. If you look in your notes, I actually labeled them W-2 and 1090. So I'm going to go to those. And I need to tell you something. You got a pencil and a paper handy?
Yeah, if I can find a pencil, there's a pencil.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now this W-2 form is sideways. I know it is. You can, and I don't know if you need to turn your screen sideways so you can see it right. But right here where it says it's number 17 box, when you go to do that, I want you to put in $800 here. Okay? So in the state income tax, we're going to put $800.
Okay.
All right. So that's box 17 on the W-2. We want to put $800 in there.
Okay. I don't. What do you want me to put this? Like, I don't have those printed out yet.
Correct. That's why I want you to write it down on a piece of paper right now. Okay. Just remember W-2, box 17, $800.
Okay.
Okay. That's the one change on that. Because you got that written down?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to switch back to the first screen again. Because on question 3, it says, how much was held out of the state income tax? So question number 3 deals directly with that box on the W-2.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So the rest should be on there. How much withheld from the federal income tax? Let's look back at that one again. So here's the federal income. There's the wages. There's the state income tax. Now let's see if I can find the federal here. Yeah, that's box number 2, way up here, right over here. Okay, so that would be your federal withheld right here. And it'll say tax withheld on thing, although it may not have converted over as clear as we would like it. So maybe when you print it off, it'll look clearer. If you have questions, go ahead and give me an email or a text or whatever, and I'll get back to you as quick as possible. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you to know, these worksheets, you can have 2 days to do. Okay. Today and tomorrow. And then we'll have the last thing you got to do is the quiz on Thursday and Friday, and then you'll be done.
Yep.
Okay. You won't have any more to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me go back to this line. Okay. So questions 1 through 5, you'll find on that W-2 form, and the 1099 for the interest income. Let me go to that form. That's the W-2. The last form is the 1099. And you can see the interest income is in box number 1 right here. Okay, so the interest income is in box 1.
Yep.
It's all about finding what they want from the forms that you're given.
Okay.
Okay, for those first 5. Now it says find the gross income. Most of these are just adding everything together. 6 and 7, you're just going to add all these together and get the gross income of wages plus interest. And this is wages, interest, and tips. Add them. So 6 and 7 are addition problems.
Yep.
Okay. Now, with adjusted gross income, you add the first 3 lines and then subtract the deductions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. Where's my book? I want to double check on that one. Don't want to tell you wrong on that. Chapter 11, please. There we go. How do we do the adjusted gross income? That's section 2. Add and find the total of the exemptions and the deductions. Subtract to find your taxable income. Okay, so what if we have an adjustment? So, okay, so I was wrong. Here's how we do it. Here's your gross income. Add these 3 lines and subtract it from your gross income. So adjustments, exemptions, and deductions get added together, and then you subtract it from the gross income to find out what your taxable income is.
Yeah. So when we add them together, that's the AGI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. The adjustments, I got it, because it says in the book, if you have adjustments, then you have to do what to them? I think you have to minus, so the AGI is the gross income minus the adjustment.
Yeah.
So that's the AGI. If you have an adjustment, just think of the A as the adjustment, and if we have one, we have to subtract it from the gross income to find out what your adjusted gross income is. All right, that's what it means, adjusted. So we got to take the adjustments away. Then add the exemption and the deductions and subtract those from the adjusted gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we do again. Step 1, if there's an adjustment, subtract it from the gross income, and that becomes our AGI.
Yeah.
Then add your exemptions and your deductions together, and then subtract that from the AGI to get your taxable income. Did you get that?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yep. Subtract the adjustment, add exemptions and deductions, and then subtract that from the adjusted gross income. You'll do that for both 8 and 9. Both 8 and 9 will be the same because we have adjustments there. All right, I think I shared that correctly with you now. And if you need to, I'm recording it. I will send it to you. If you need to come back through this part again and listen, you can.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now I'm going to go on to sheet number 2. Here we go. All right. Now on this one involves those tax tables in the back. Are you having any problem finding the tax on those?
Not really. Not really. I mean, it takes a little bit, but.
Right. The key is make sure you understand whether they're single, married and filing separately, married or joint, or head of household account, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you're going to do all those things you did on 8 and 9. Now on number 10, there's no adjustments. So the adjustments is the same as the gross. Okay, so then on this one, we take 7,500 and add it to deductions and then subtract that from your gross. So that'll be your taxable income. And then you go to your chart in the back and find out what you owe for that income that you've made for the year.
Yep.
Okay. Same thing here, except this one has an adjustment. So you have to subtract the adjustment first, add these two together, and then subtract it from the gross income. All right. Now, on number 14, down here, make a note on your piece of paper. Number 14, the person is single. Okay. Number 14, the person is single. Now, with the W-2 and the 1099, I'm going to ask you to try to fill out a 1040 easy tax form. That's the tax form that I sent you. All right. This is an old form. Okay. They actually have a new form now, but it's good practice to just do the old form so you have a familiarity with tax forms in general. Okay. So I'm going to flip over to that tax form so we can talk about it a little bit. So here it comes. Okay. Notice that it's been erased and Mrs. Fowler has put on 2015 on this one. This was one I borrowed from her that she had. Okay. So here, notice that on the income, you put wages, salaries, and tips. That should be from your W-2 forms. That goes in line number 1.
Okay.
Okay. You can use 11.3 a little bit to help you with filling this out. So that's your total wages that you earned. All right. And that should be on the I'm going to flip over to the W-2 form so I can show you where that is. Well, hold on. Here it comes. So wages, tips, and other expenses right here in box number 1 on your W-2. Okay. There it is. All right. It's also the same number that's down here on number 16 and number 18. It's all the same. That means we don't add it. You just have to put it in 3 different spots on the form. Okay?
Probably put what?
Well, when they give you a W-2, it has your wages in 3 different spots.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm telling you. You don't have to put it in 3 different spots. They did it. Okay? All you have to do is to put this in here right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So then it says if the total is over 1,500, you can't use an easy form. Well, don't worry about that part of it. Okay. All right. Taxable. Oh, this is if your taxable interest is over 1,500. So we got to find out what our taxable interest is. Okay. Oh, went the wrong way. I'm going to go back here. So then we go here and it tells us what was withheld. Okay. That's what was withheld. Trying to make sure that I tell you correctly on this. Let me check the back of my book real quick. Tax table. He made $25,234. Okay, I got 25. 200. It's between 200 and 250, and he was single. Okay, if I looked back in the book, it says there's the income tax that was withheld. But if he was single, made 25, the taxes that he owes is over $4,000. Take another look. Okay. I think we're okay there. I'm just trying to figure out what we should put in our box number 2 here.
Okay.
And I'm thinking what we put in box number 2 is the federal income tax withheld. $1,256. Okay. Then when you go in here, unemployment will be zeros. Okay, so then it says add lines 1, 2, and 3. Oh, no, my bad. Sorry. The taxable interest is from your 1099 form. There we go. That's what we're doing. Sorry. Okay, I knew I was going to tell you wrong. So the first one is from the W-2 form, box number 1. The second one is from the taxable interest form. Let me show you that one. That's this one. Here it is. And it'll be box number 1 on the 1099. There it is. $542 is what you would fill in on the second line there.
542.
Yeah, let me go look at that again. $542. Okay, so line 2 is 542. Line 3 will be 0. And then you would add line 1 and 2 to get the answer for number 4. Just read the directions. It says add line 1, 2, and 3 for your adjusted gross income. Right there. Number 5, read that. If someone can claim you, and so if you're single, it says no one can claim you, enter $10,150 if single. Okay, so number 5, that's going to be your number, $10,150. You're going to put right there on number 5 because this guy is single that we're filling it out for. Then it says subtract lines 5 and 4. That will be your taxable income right there. Okay, so as you're going through, just read and do what each step does on the way down. Okay, most of them will tell you almost exactly what to do. Now, number 7, then you're going to have to look on your W-2 and your 1099 and then see how much income was withheld. So both of those, you would have to add the income withheld on W-2s and 1099. Here, let me show you where that one is on the W-2. Income tax withheld. It tells you right here in box number 2. Okay, let's check the 1099 form. If it had any that needed to be withheld, it should have been right about here. So it doesn't look like you'll have anything to add to it. You just have to use the federal income tax withheld right here.
Yeah.
All right. Got to that part. Let's go back. So once you've done that, if there's any earned income credit, you don't have any of that, so that's a no. And you don't have non-taxable combat pay in this, so you don't have to worry about 8A and 8B. So those are canceled. Then on add line 7 to 8A, there wasn't any, so that's what your number will just come straight down from line 7. Okay, that's your total. Those are your total payments and credits that you've gotten. Then use the information from line 6, and then that's the number you look up in the back of the book to find out how much tax you owe.
Yeah.
Okay, see where there's a triangle pointing there?
Yeah.
Line 6 is what you use to figure out how much tax you owe for line 9. That's why both of them have little triangles on that. Okay, so 6 and 9 are connected. I look at this in the back at the tax table in the back, and then I input the amount that I owe right there. And so then I take my information, excuse me, actually line 6 is connected to line 10, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so when whatever I find out how much I owe, I put it in line 10. And then here, between line 10 and line 9, we find out how much I owe or whether I'm going to get a refund.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
So we subtract those. So we subtract those.
Yes, you'll subtract lines 9 and 10.
Okay.
The smaller one from the larger one. If line 10 is larger than line 9, then you owe.
Okay.
If line 9 is larger than line 10, then you are going to get a tax return. You're going to get money back, a refund. See, and it tells you right here on 13A, if line A is larger than if line 9 is larger than line 12, subtract line 12 from 9, this is your refund. Okay? If not, then let's go down to 14. If line 12 is larger than line 9, subtract line 9 from line 12. This is the amount you owe. Okay? So it gives you instructions. 13A and 14 both give you instructions of what will happen. If you get the one 13A applies, 9 is bigger than 12, then you're going to get a refund. If line 12 is bigger than line 9, then you have to pay. Okay? One of these two will be filled out. 13 or 14 will be filled out. You won't have to do both of them. And then you can stop after you get to there. Anything you want me to run back through?
So what do we do with 13 and 14?
Okay. It says we get the information from line 9.
Yeah.
Okay, that was adding of lines 7 and 8A.
Okay.
You don't have any earned income credit, so just take line 7 and move it down to line 9.
Okay.
Okay? Next, for line 12, you add whatever line 10 and 11 were. Actually, you probably won't have any health care. So 11 will be 0. So you just take line 10 and move it down to line 12.
Yeah.
Okay? Now when we get to 13, we look at lines 9 and 12. If 9 is larger, just like it reads, you subtract line 12 and put the answer on line 13. If that's not the case, you go down to line 14 and do what it says. If line 12 is larger than line 9, subtract, and that's how much you owe. So 13 is the refund line, 14 is the amount that you owe line. Only one of these two you will have to do, depending on your answers on 9 and 12.
So this sheet like this that I have to print out.
Say that again, a little louder.
Like this that I have to print out, right?
Yes, print that out.
Okay.
Yes, print it out and then walk through each of the steps. And you want to have that W-2 and that 1099 forms sitting right next to you so you can transfer the information in the right lines on the way down here.
Okay. Should it be pretty easy?
Say what?
Should it be pretty easy?
Yeah. There's not a lot of math to figure out. It's just making sure you transfer the right numbers into your form.
Yeah.
From the other documents that you're given and the tax table that you use. Okay. Take it slow. Have your dad or mom help you out a little bit because this is kind of important stuff for you to be able to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some point down the line, you may have to think about doing your taxes.
Yeah.
So this is kind of real life kind of stuff that you'd have to do.
Yeah, and I did one earlier, and Dad noticed that I got like 4 of them wrong or so, and then,
So did you fix them?
Yeah, Dad helped me. My dad.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, yeah, just, have mom or dad check it over, make sure that you got the right numbers in there, okay? This really should have been our first time we did. I saw you send an easy form, and I was like, did I send you a form with the easy?
No, my dad found one.
Oh, you found one, and so you practiced, huh?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's what we got to do today. Yep. All right. Any more questions before we sign off?
I'm just glad that I've gotten to do speech and it's really paid off.
It has. Good job.
Yep. Yep. And I've been thinking about if I want to do judging or not.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about you doing some judging.
Yeah.
Well, I will make sure I have your phone number, so I'll make sure I'll text you starting around the next season, so that if you want to get in on that, we can talk about it. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. That would be good. I always enjoy having former students help out with judging because they kind of know what's supposed to be done. Yep.
But I am kind of choosing between. I have to choose between judging or doing Special Olympics swimming because those are kind of tight-knit schedules.
Well, if I ask you to judge, I may ask you to judge just probably like one meet this year. All right, this next coming year.
Why one meet?
Well, I want to make sure that you're making good balance and that I don't want to overload you with everything else that you might be doing. So, okay.
Well, I kind of really want to be back with the speech team.
I understand that. That's good to want to be around speech. It's kind of fun to hang out with us. So.
Yep.
All right, Claire. If you don't have any more math questions, we're going to call it a meeting today. I'll see you
Alright.
on Friday.
Yep.
Probably be our last day we get to talk together, unless we set up some Zoom meeting or you come in. You'll be coming in next week to hand your stuff in to me.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Hey, if you want to, you may want to, since we're probably not going to get to the end of the Stalker book, you may want to read the rest of it if you want.
Yeah. Like maybe this week or so.
Yeah, this week if you want to finish reading that so you know how it ends, because but then you won't you can't say anything to the other guys on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the end.
All right. Well,
Right.
congratulations. I'm so excited. If you think about it, send me that link.
Yeah.
All right. So I know how you did. I want to look at your speech and see what you did. Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
All right. Good job, Claire. Way to go. Proud
Yeah.
of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. See you later.